Amazing. Hello, my name is Mark, and welcome to a brand new series that I like to call Cape Chase. This is going to be a series about my personal progression towards the Master Trimmed Completionist Cape on RuneScape 3. Now, I've been playing RuneScape on and off for about 20 years now. I've seen this game go through so many different iterations over the years, and the beauty of the game is that there's no one way to play the game. I've seen so many different account builds, and everyone just has their own personal goals in mind. Now, as for me, I'm a big sucker for achievements and prestige. Although I do not play old school RuneScape, one of the things that I love the most about that kind of gameplay is the fact that whatever you're wearing on your character, that is what is presented out towards other characters. There's no overrides, there are no customizations. If you have really impressive armor on, that is what you get to see. That was one of the best nuances of old school RuneScape, because for me personally, if I saw somebody with really cool gear on, it would pique my interest and I would do everything in my power to figure out what that gear was and what I had to do to earn it. Most of the time, it would be something fairly hard to get. So oftentimes it would take tremendous talent, skill in combat, or just many hours of grinding to get some of the best, coolest looking gear in the game. RuneScape 3 has pretty much been subjected to something that is called Fashionscape. It is kind of crazy to look back on how Fashionscape has taken the game by storm. Overrides and customizations were introduced into the game in July of 2012 with the release of the Solomon's General Store. Because overrides became so popular over the years, showing off your prestige in different ways became a little more niche. Lots of players these days choose to flaunt their progress by keepsaking capes of achievement, namely max capes, master capes, master max capes. You get the idea. Now, quick sidebar here, RuneScape 3 has definitely evolved over the years in terms of presenting your accolades and prestige, one of which being special titles that you can attach to your in-game name that are available in the customizations tab. Some of the most impressive chase titles being golden titles like Slayer Master, the Reaper, the Daredevil, the Defeater, all of which are affiliated with either complete collection logs and insane bossing achievements. Also, with the recent addition of the Sanctum of Rebirth and Combat Mastery achievements, we're seeing a new wave of showing off your prestige with aura overrides. Although I do love these additions into the game, and some of which I have a sincere interest in pursuing down the line, Completionist Capes have such a special place in my heart. I was actively playing RuneScape when Completionist Capes came out, and they were quite the chase. A true display of prestige for that time. But what's better than some nasty, dusty little comp cape? Comp cape with a little bit of gold, baby. The Trimmed Completionist Cape. What was once the most undesirable and miserable list of achievements to get your comp cape trimmed has now been edited to a more suitable list that both you and I can achieve without grinding out mini games. Ooh. Yes, I'm looking at you, Profound Equipment. If you don't know the lore, just sit back, sweetie. There used to be an achievement that took 800 hours to complete. Just one achievement, which was to, I believe, equip a complete set of Profound equipment from Castle Wars, which would take you 800 hours of gameplay, assuming that you win every single Castle Wars game. Now you might be thinking, well, what about Taller, if I'm saying that correctly?
Taller.
It's a universal minigame currency that was introduced into the game in 2015. However, you apparently would need to have over 4,000 hours of minigame play in some other minigame series collecting Taller to afford the Profound equipment. So you might as well just grind out winning streaks of Castle Wars to obtain this equipment. And fortunately for all of us, that one achievement that was needed to obtain the Trimmed Completionist Cape was removed in 2019. Now, I wanted to name this series Cape Chase for two reasons. One, it captures the essence of my personal progression towards the Master Trimmed Completionist Cape. And two, because once you get your hands on a Completionist Cape, you might as well enjoy it while you can. Because it's only a matter of time before that cape gets ripped away from you with every major update. Once major content drops, so does your cape, like right to the ground. And you can't pick it up just yet. You gotta work through the new achievements that are now listed in the gameplay. Now, a little bit about me and my backstory. I actually came back to the game in 2023 with the addition of necromancy. I became such a big fan of necromancy and archaeology. I had a blast. The way that these skills were developed, I'm a big fan of. I had set a personal goal for myself to get my first 120 ever, and that was going to be necromancy, and I did. That might as well have been the catalyst for everything else that came after. I started to check off achievement by achievement, and many months later of grinding out ports and quests and leveling up, and I finally obtained my Completionist Cape.
Oh my god, what is that? Oh my god! What is that?
It was such a huge achievement. I felt really good about where I was. And I don't know what compelled me, but my hand slipped over to the list of achievements needed for the Trimmed Completionist Cape. I just wanted to take a little peek because I got really confident and good at checking off these achievements, and it was my favorite thing to do. I really do enjoy achievements in the game. There's something about knocking out these achievements that gets my dopamine flowing, to be totally honest with you, and there's a really great sense of accomplishment that comes with that, and I just really enjoy it. I decided to concurrently work on some Trimmed Completionist Cape achievements while working on some time-gated things for my original comp cape, and I haven't stopped. So that's where we are. Now, you may be asking yourself where the Master Max Cape comes into play, and great question. I like the way that you think. It was never really on my radar until Jagex made it on my radar. I've always thought that the Trimmed Completionist Cape was a little bit more prestigious because of the grind that you have to put in, and because hypothetically you could buy the Master Max Cape on a main account through microtransactions, although it would be insanely expensive. But something about that just made me yearn for something that had to be more organic and where time had to be the currency. I've always seen the Trimmed Completionist Cape as this step above the Master Max Cape, although the Master Max Cape is the better looking cape, if we can be so honest with ourselves. It just scratches my brain in like the best way. That design is just, and then Jagex made it so that you can edit the color of the particles. I need the crunchy particles. I'm sorry. I need to glow. So as I mentioned, Jagex kind of made the Master Max Cape an inevitable cape to grind for, announcing an eventual creep up to 120 skilling all. We've seen the release of 110 in skills like fletching, mining, smithing, and more. I know that I, with many other players, are already working on our grind to 110 and 120 all in this current state of the game, kind of trying to get ahead if we can, so that things aren't as difficult when it comes to completing some of these achievements. All right, now that introductions are out of the way, I want to share with you guys where I currently land in my progression, and spoiler alert, I'm actually pretty close. I didn't mean for this to happen. I've been wanting to make this series for a long time, but you know what? Better late than never. So here we go. As I'm making this video, Double Experience Weekend is just finishing up. I managed to nab 120 construction and 120 summoning, so yay. The summoning was a little bit of a surprise. I was going to train it, but I didn't realize I could actually get to 120. Shout out Onyx Spirit Gems. Love you. In terms of achievements for the Trimmed Completionist Cape, I am missing 3 achievements on the list. We have Chompy Massacre, Master Angler, and Globetrotter. For those of you who don't know, the Chompy Massacre achievement requires that you kill 4,000 Chompy birds, which doesn't sound that bad. You're probably, if you have no idea how Chompy bird kills happen, then you might think 4,000 isn't that much in the game of RuneScape 3 these days. I mean, you could probably get that done pretty quickly, correct? No. The answer is no. It's just a little bit of a pain because you got to set yourself up for every kill, but I digress. 4,000 kills takes a while. I believe I'm around like 800 something, and I haven't worked towards the progression of Trimmed Completionist Cape achievements in a minute, so I have been stockpiling on those unfocused reward enhancers. If you know, you know, and if you don't, I'll tell you. Unfocused reward enhancers are your best friend if you decide to go for either Completionist Cape. They are essentially tokens that are rewarded from the Motherlode Maw, which is a area that you can interact with once a day in the Edemu resource dungeon in Prifddinas that requires 115 dungeoneering to enter. Essentially, you can redeem these tokens in a number of categories that are specific to different activities in RuneScape to help speed up the process. If I were to attune my unfocused reward enhancer to chompy bird kills, then for every chompy bird kill that I successfully do, then that counts as 2 kills instead of 1 kill thanks to the enhancer. Then we have the Master Angler achievement where you need to obtain the tackle box from the Fish Flingers minigame. I have played a little bit of Fish Flingers because I wanted to see what I was going to get myself into with this achievement, and I gotta be honest with you, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know, like, the whole game just seems like process of elimination to me, and it very well may be. It just feels like I'm missing something and I don't know what. And lastly, we have
Globetrotter.
Globetrotter is a little bit of my personal hell. I just don't like treasure trails that much. Like, I just don't. I've tried getting into them. Over the years, I've tried to enjoy them, especially because some of these items, the rewards can be quite the chase. And I know some people just live for treasure trails. That is like what they do on the game. I wish I had that grind. I don't. The achievement is to complete the Globetrotter outfit, which requires a currency called treasure trail points that you get from completing treasure trails in general. There's a scaling system when it comes to different milestones of completion of treasure trails, and I'm just stockpiling elite clue scrolls on a weekly basis from Skeletal Horror. I've done a couple here and there. We'll get there when we get there, all right? We'll get there when we get there. In terms of account stats, here is what I've got going on so far. I just recently upgraded my melee gear, so I'm kind of working on making that attack and strength level less abysmal. And I'm also gonna get back into my chompy kills, and we'll see what else we can tackle in the next video. But until next time, thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully you'll stick around for the rest of it. So until next time.